Okay, so what we've got here is an illustration of all the different lines that go through your brain, or the different perspectives that your brain sees if your head and your eyes are out of position when you're putting. And I see this from beginners to single-digit handicaps, club pros, tour pros, all the way up to some of the top players in the world. And I'm going to illustrate what each of the lines is right now. So the yellow lines to the left of the screen illustrate the different perspective that you see the hole if your eyes are, let's say, 3 inches inside the target line, which is noted by the 3 balls there and the white line. So you can notice that every distance you get from the hole, if your eyes are inside the ball, you see the hole at a different angle. I'm going to illustrate that a little more in a minute. The green line and the red line illustrate the fact that when you have your chin up too high, that your brain and your body perceive the hole to be to the right of where it actually is. That's the green line. And then what the red line is when you swivel your head in its own plane, meaning it rotates around the spine, as soon as the peripheral vision picks up the hole, which you can see is about halfway there, it swings over to the hole, and usually the spine angle of the head and the neck will change. So I'm going to walk up here and we're going to see what it looks like from your perspective from a 4-foot putt. So here we are above the hole. I've got my eyes about 3 inches inside, meaning the camera is positioned right over that tee. And then as I swivel to the hole, you can see it almost has to look out to the right some in order to see the hole. So if that's happening and the yellow line is what's being sent to the brain, the stroke will have a tendency to go too much in to out. And as we go back to 6 feet, you can see that that's a greater angle to the hole. And as we go back to 8 feet, you can see that angle becomes even more so. All right, so now if I go back to the 4-footer and I put my eyes directly over the ball and I swivel to the hole, my eyes track all the way down that target line and it goes right to the center of the hole automatically. So eyes over the ball is preferred. Have there been great putters that have their eyes inside the ball? Of course there have. But we're talking about the ability to be the most consistent, make the most putts that you possibly can. And just because some of the people who've been successful the other way are on tour does not mean that they're doing it correctly. They just have very good patterning. Now, the other position is if I have my head up too high, okay, meaning a line coming straight out of my eye sockets would be pointed where that green line is, yet you can see the ball in the lower part of the screen on the target line, meaning your eyes have to roll down your cheeks to see it. So we've talked about it in different videos before. The greater the angular difference where your face is pointed and where your eyes are looking, the more inconsistent you will be as a putter. And what happens is, if we'll go back here to 8 feet, you can see this illustrated a little better. Okay, so there's the bottom of the screen. My chin is up too high. My head is pointed where that green and red string come together. As I swivel to the hole, my head actually tracks that green and red line, and as soon as my eyes peripheral vision picks up the hole, my head changes angles like this and it swivels to the hole. And you can imagine that as your head changes angles, you'll notice that the perspective of the camera has changed. So what do you think it does to your vision of the hole and overall your read? Okay, so I'm going to swing this back down here and I'm going to show you what it should look like so that where your head is looking, or where your head is positioned, where your eyes are looking, and where the hole actually is, are all in the same spot. All right, so now you can see where all the lines are the same, and I'm going to show you the head positioning from your perspective as it relates to all 3 different length putts: 4-foot, 6-foot, and 8-foot. And again, the length here is not important because the fundamentals work for every single one. So we call this the rainbow of putting, since all of these colored lines, if I get a little closer, you can see how they're all together. But now as you're over the ball, the back of your head is flat or parallel to the ground, which means your eyes are looking straight out of your eye sockets. Your eyes are directly over the ball. And now all of those lines point to the same spot. And it doesn't matter if I'm at 4 feet, 6 feet, your perspective remains the same, or 8 feet. As you look to the hole, your head swivels on the spine and the perspective does not change. And this would go on and on and on if we were at 20 feet, 30 feet, 50 feet and beyond. So again, eyes directly over the ball, back of the head flat so the eyes are looking straight out of the face, and your perspective of where the hole is, where the hole actually is in space, and the images that your brain is getting to formulate your pattern for movement are all identical, and I guarantee you will put much better and much more consistent. Hey everybody, Pete here from the Golf Paradigm. Thanks for watching the video. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you want to watch more videos or subscribe, you can do it right